This will be the only video you need to watch on YouTube, going A to Z on everything you need to know about the newest perps DEX that is taking over crypto, and that is Aster. Aster is backed by 𝗧𝗟 and Binance Labs, and we're still pre-Binance spot listing, and right now they are giving away 4% of the supply every single phase of their airdrop. So they are giving out free money for users of this platform. This will be millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars over the course of this cycle, and I want to make sure the following here on this channel is primed to make money on this platform. So I'm going to go over everything you need to know, how to maximize your airdrop points, as well as just how to utilize the platform to its max potential, and of course my future price forecasts for the Aster token. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Before we get started in the meat of today's video, be sure to drop down below, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel for more every single day here on In the Game. We have you covered with everything you need in the market to come out profitable at the end of the cycle. And of course, a big shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game. We have some incredible sponsors from Blowfin, as well as Aikido, 𝗔𝗏, and Nexus Labs. And if you aren't already a member of Nexus, by the way, you can completely track the markets A to Z, multi-chain wallet tracking, as well get straight alpha from me directly as soon as it's posted. We have the alpha chat here where you can see this, and also if you just want to be a part of my community, my private community, you can join 𝗕𝗏𝗏 as well. That is our NFT collection, or you can join up on Nexus, get similar information as soon as I'm placing trades, and also track the entire market. So links down below for both of those. And of course, let's go ahead and get started, guys, because I mean, this last week, you probably have seen one ticker and one ticker only pasted all over your timeline, all over YouTube, whatever the case is, and that's Aster. And Aster has completely taken the crypto world by storm. This has been probably the biggest winning trade for crypto Twitter / like the biggest runner consistently to the upside, and we're talking about a $3 billion market cap circulating currently since Trump coin. And a lot of people were curious, is this going to tank the market like Trump? But Trump was very extractive from the market. It felt once it took that big dip and that plummet in price, it never came back, right? And we've seen some dips over the course of this week's chart on Aster, but for the most part, this thing has been an absolute machine as far as the price action. And I will definitely give my price predictions here for this token. And if you watched this video or watched our video last week, whenever this token launched, actually, we gave a signal in my private groups and on Nexus at 20 cents. By the time I recorded, it was at 30 cents. And I even mentioned then it was a great buy. I've seen a lot of people in the comment section that took the trade, and I want to say congratulations. This has been an absolute crazy winner. A 10x from my position and almost a 10x from whenever YouTube got involved about an hour later. But for the most part, a lot of people, and justifiably so, either different time zones or didn't have a bunch of liquidity ready on that chain or whatever the case is, kind of missed the trade, right? And if you are sidelined on Aster, there's still so much opportunity to get involved on this platform. And this narrative isn't going away. Obviously, 𝗧𝗟, the main man who made this thing go crazy and bring a lot of exposure to this HyperLiquid competitor, says now everyone wants to be a perp DEX. More players will grow the market size faster. Rising tides lift all boats. Long term, the best builders win. Do your own research. Perp DEX era. And look, they have really made a splash into the market. Their annualized fees are already at $200 million. And as you can see, their TVL is growing. If we go to their fees and revenue, just last week, before this thing went crazy, they weren't really doing much. They were doing a couple $100,000 in fees daily. Back here, they were doing like $50,000 in fees daily, which is still very solid. At this point, they were very under the radar, and a lot of people were just farming it as a potential token coming out of Binance Labs. But obviously this week, if we just go to this weekly, they've done $19.73 million in fees. And just off of this new spike, they're up to an annualized fee of $195 million. And at this point in time, guys, they just did $10 million in revenue over the last 24 hours. This is more than HyperLiquid, more than Circle behind USDC. This is almost half of what Tether's doing. Like, this is a crazy stamp on the market that Aster has been making. And look, I'll be honest with you. Right now, the platform itself is not as good as HyperLiquid, but that's not the point here, right? It's a narrative trade on the Perps DEX that is Aster. And if we look at HyperLiquid, their annualized fee volume is about $1 billion over the last 24 hours. If we can look here at the fees on the 24 hours, we see the volume here. Let me go to fees and revenue. Fees on the 24 hours at $2.7 million, which obviously is fantastic. And right now, Aster just simply has the ball in their court. Right? There's a certain point in time, certain basketball teams have one player bring it up and taking the majority of the shots, but the next game they have a different player taking the majority of the shots, right? And I saw a great analogy on crypto Twitter yesterday from my friend Sam Stefanina, who said, he responded to a tweet that said, explain Aster to me like I'm 5. And imagine if HyperLiquid was selling one flavor of ice cream, right? HyperLiquid, this is the Perps DEX of the cycle, for the whole cycle. Nobody had any other option, right? People can farm other platforms like Lighter and EdgeX, I think are great opportunities, but there wasn't this mainstream one competing with this top flavor of ice cream. And then CZ and Binance came out with this new flavor of ice cream, and obviously it's selling off the shelves because people want something different, right? And of course, we're betting on the fact that they're gonna grow this to the point of something like a Binance. And the craziest thing about this at this point in time is that at this point, we don't even have a Binance spot listing. Like, this is crazy. The most insane part amidst all of this price action is the coin is not even actually listed on Binance. It's on Binance Alpha, but that's like a sub-segment of the Binance app. Like, the retail public hasn't really been super exposed to this at this point in time. And the pros of the platform, there's no KYC. HyperLiquid requires KYC. You can deposit from numerous different chains. You can trade a lot of different assets. And for the most part on Perps, if we just go here, you can trade crazy amounts of leverage, like 100x leverage on Bitcoin. You can trade 50x leverage on Aster. If we go to Hype, and they're kind of trying to, in a way, troll HyperLiquid by doing this, we go to leverage, you can 300x HyperLiquid on leverage. Just ridiculous platform that they have. At least the product offering, the features are phenomenal. So in this video, I'm really talking to the people who are invested but want to maximize their potential. Maybe you're up a ton and you have money in the platform. How do I get involved with the upcoming airdrops? But also for someone who's sidelined, how do you maximize this airdrop? And of course, by the end of this video, I'll talk about my price predictions. So you have not missed an airdrop on this, by the way. So in the top right corner here, it says airdrop. Right now, stage 1 is done. And really, you had to be super early to get involved with that. But what a lot of people are missing out on this platform right now is Genesis stage 2. And in their tokenomics, 40% of the token supply is allocated towards community, aka airdrops. So 4% of the total supply here is going to be allocated for stage 2 rewards. This would make you inference maybe there's going to be 10 stages, 4% each. That would really make a lot of sense. And 4% of this total supply right now is a ridiculous amount of money. We're talking about $700 million they're going to be giving out after October 5th here. And you can still get involved and start farming points on this platform. And they're incentivizing numerous different things here. We see in their documents, they're incentivizing trading volume on Perps, just like what HyperLiquid did before their first airdrop. We have holding time, so how long are you holding specific assets? And also, how long do you have leverage positions open? So we're going to talk about strategies here in just a second. Your P&L, so the best traders might get rewarded even more. I hope they, for just the common person's sake, I hope if you have a negative P&L, they don't shun your airdrop, right? You're the one who's going to need the airdrop airdrop more at that point in time. But jokes aside, Aster asset holding. So if you hold Aster just on the DEX at all, you will get incentivized here with points, and then referrals. So first and foremost, let's just jump into the platform quickly. And if you have not jumped into the platform, we have a link down below in the description to join Aster. And when you join a team, you get fee discounts on all of your trades, okay? So you get percentages off the amount of fees that you pay. And being a part of a team does boost your RH points for the upcoming airdrop. So I'll leave my link in the description down below if you haven't signed up for Aster. We have a crazy team going right now. Like over the last 24 hours, our team has grown like crazy, and we definitely have one of the stronger teams in crypto right now. But if you want to join the team, link down below in the description. Let's just walk through Aster. You know, from a numbers perspective, you can see why this thing's growing, and you can see why it could start inching up at least to where HyperLiquid's market share is at this point in time. Obviously, 24-hour fees at $10 million are pretty ridiculous, but how can you maximize this platform? So what they're really incentivizing, and I can just see this from placing a few leverage trades on the platform, is trading points. So perps volume is going to be really the kingmaker of this airdrop. So if you are someone who trades on HyperLiquid, Lighter, Binance perps, Blowfin perps, whatever the case is, you can name numerous different exchanges, centralized or decentralized. It might be advantageous at least to dip your toes in over here, utilize this platform during this time period, because if you're putting in serious volume, or even if you're putting in $100 trades at, you know, 10, 20, 30x leverage like this platform offers, your volume can actually ramp up pretty quickly because perps do account for the amount of leverage. So a $100 position on 30x leverage is actually a $3,000 position in the eyes of the perps DEX. So in general, if you're a trader and you want to come over here, there's so many different pairs. This is basically like Binance on chain. Like the amount of things here on this platform that you can jump in, trade, etc., from Aster to Bitcoin to HyperLiquid, Gala, Tron, Aave, Curve, Aptos, 𝗬𝗓, 𝗓𝗏𝗏, etc. I could keep naming coins on this left sidebar. And they also have stocks. So you can see they have Apple, Tesla, Nvidia. You will be incentivized for all of these. So this is a trader's paradise. And to be honest, this is going to shape up to be a trader's airdrop. If we just go over to rewards tab, you can see here at the top line on this right side is trade points. So trade more, earn more. Takers receive 2 times the points versus makers. Your holding time score, the asset utilization score, realized P&L, and referral and team points. So that's just on the perp side. And if you're an ultra degen, I don't know, a lot of you guys have been in crypto long enough to remember when Rollbit started blowing up. Rollbit is the probably, other than Stake, which doesn't have a token, probably the most mainstream crypto casino platform over the course of time. They introduced the 1000x leverage trade. It was basically just a slot machine. You're just preying on the smallest moves. And what Aster has done here is really do it with a lot of different assets here. So you can go degen 1000x leverage with collateral on stuff like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, BNB, the 𝗍𝗫 coin, which is absolutely hilarious to me, Apple, Barachain, all these different coins. You can do 1000x leverage. Ridiculous. I want to click on 𝗍𝗫 coin. Yeah, okay, so you can do 25x on 𝗍𝗫. I'm like, there's no way they're allowing that. But a lot of these coins you can do crazy leverage on, just given, you know, when you go to the degen ones, especially Ethereum, Bitcoin, you can do 500x leverage plays, right? Zero or hero in a matter of seconds. That's what this is really kind of leaning towards. I would not recommend putting your money here. Like I said, this is basically like the crypto casino Rollbit with their leverage thing, but nonetheless, pretty cool feature for those who like short, quick hits. Maybe you want to throw a few bucks at it, 1000x leverage, and just see what happens, right? So, hey, I don't shun anyone who wants to do that. And myself, I might throw a few $5, $10 trades at 1000x leverage and just see what happens over here on this side of the platform. And I don't think that you should weigh heavy on that, though. Like, perps are going to pay out way more than what you will see if you just do like 1000x leverage $5 trades, okay? So focus on the perps on this platform. platform, but also if you have Aster on an exchange or on Binance Smart Chain in your native wallet, I would actually, for the airdrop purposes, move over your holdings to the Aster DEX. You will get incentivized with RH points every single day just for holding the token, and spot volume also matters. So the amount of spot trades that you put in will accumulate for your airdrop, but they are really, really incentivizing perps. Now, let's say you want to maximize this, but you don't have a lot of money to like put into the platform and trade, whatever the case is. Throw $100, $500 over at the platform, open up a small sized, small leverage, so that way your liquidation's healthy, okay? So like if you were to go, size Bitcoin, you put $500 in at just like a 3 to 5x leverage, and you keep another $500 in the account as like leverage padding, right? Because you want your margin to be healthy, and you just leave that open. They are incentivizing long-term leverage long positions. So if you have a leverage long open for a certain amount of time, you're incentivized quite a bit from that, as we did see the recent update here to reward traders with genuine intentions. And what they mean by that is people not just scalping the charts. They're increasing the 5x more RH points to holding time score. So just put in a small leverage trade at low leverage. Make sure your liquidation is pretty cheap, hopefully under $1.90, $1.80 even. I would try to aim to get that liquidation price as low as possible and just leave it open. That way you don't have to be in here farming volume a ton, but you can get up to 5x more points for the holding time on your trades. Of course, you go to portfolio and you can start to track your different perps, spot, and earn. Earn is a very interesting part of this platform. So you can actually earn 16% APY, which is, really ridiculous for a stable coin. You can earn airdrop points and earn this API if you trade using the USDF pair or ASBNB, so Aster BNB as margin. So you can come in here, you can mint USDF, which is the native token here as far as stable coins. You can deposit to Aster, which gets you 4.5% on this money, which is pretty competitive. Actually, Coinbase pays out about the same on USDC. And then you come over here, you can meet the weekly activity and volume requirements to earn additional rewards. I think that these rewards are basically, I think if you trade $2,000, which is a $200 position at 10x leverage, then you qualify for this 16%, which is pretty ridiculous. And if you use the BNB, I would focus on the stablecoin, but you can earn 9% on their BNB pair or up to 16% on their native stablecoin, which is absolutely crazy in my opinion. And as you see here with their different things, they have grid trading, they have an API, they have USDF, which is the stable coin, they have the earn mechanic, they have copy trading, which a lot of people love to do. It would say you're taking to a third-party platform, so I'm not going to do that at this point in time. I really want to focus on the things that are going to make you money on this platform, and I think we really covered it. Hold your Aster on Aster. I would not take your... This is backed by Binance. If something ever happened, they would reimburse tenfold and make sure that the community is made whole. So hold your Aster on your portfolio here on Aster. I think that that's a no-brainer. It's going to earn you free points. Number 2, trade perps. Throw in some volume, even if it's $20 at 50x leverage. There's a $1,000 trade right there, right? So it adds up pretty quickly. You can put in a decent amount of volume with a small amount of money. Just make sure, be smart, okay? You'd never want to get your account liquidated. Pay attention to your trades. Don't just leave a trade open at crazy leverage overnight or something like that. Make sure that you're diligent, and even if you want to scalp, you get up a little bit, take it out, re-enter a trade. Go up a little bit, take it out, re-enter a trade, because this chart has been absolutely ridiculous to this point in time. I would not delve around with the 1000x leverage. I think that that's pretty ridiculous. And then if you really want to kind of get involved deeper into the platform, you could use the USDF and earn 16% APY while you trade using that stable coin. So that's what I would do to prioritize this airdrop right now. As mentioned, you can literally come over here and they're going to be dropping out tokens every single season. So right now we're in phase 2. If we just go over here, points, Stage 2. This ends on October 5th, okay? This video comes out on September 24th. If you're watching this after October 5th, they still have money up for grabs, okay? They had stage 0, stage 1, and there's probably going to be up to 10 stages just based on the amount of supply that they're giving out. They have to compete with HyperLiquid, okay? This is the one way to really compete with HyperLiquid is to do crazy airdrops and do them more frequently. HyperLiquid has done one airdrop, and there's speculation they're going to do a second airdrop. But if Aster every 3-4 weeks is just dumping money to the people that use their platform, this is how they're going to overtake HyperLiquid. So all in all, I would not fade Aster. It doesn't matter if you bought it or if you didn't. I think you have to farm this airdrop. It's free money, and I think it's free money from the biggest company in crypto, and that is Binance. And then, of course, where do I think this token's going? My target on this channel had consistently, I said it would hit $2 easily, and $4 is a real target for me. $4 would put this at $36 billion fully diluted market cap, and I don't think, given the growth of the platform this week, look, if this sustains at all, then this is going to make total sense. And for me, that would put the circulating at about $6-7 billion. That's a very fair valuation considering the fact that the circulating market cap on HyperLiquid is 15. So that would put the circulating market cap at about 50% of what HyperLiquid is. And because so much of the supply is controlled by Binance and by Aster for future airdrops, etc., they've really done a good job of supply control. So to me, this token has a ton of upside. I think $4 is an immediate target. I would not be surprised to see mid $5 over the next couple of weeks at this point in time. So that's where I think this token is going in the short term. And who knows, long term, Binance has the resources to do a Perps DEX takeover and monopolize that side of the industry once again. So we'll have to see. Nonetheless, I still hold hype. I'm still farming the next hype airdrop, but I think Aster is by far the biggest opportunity in the space right now. And I hope this guide really helps you navigate the platform and maximize your airdrop rewards in the coming weeks. So guys, like the video down below, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts on Aster. Do you like the platform? Do you not? Are you farming it? Did you buy? I've seen tons of comments of you guys who bought early because of this channel. So that makes me super happy that people were able to get involved, especially those who saw the video under 50 cents. I think that that's just a ridiculous entry for something like this. And as always, we'll be back tomorrow with more market updates. Like the video, subscribe, play well, my friends, stay bullish, and trade responsibly, of course.